So please know that pre-approval and pre-qualifications are not the same, okay? They are not the same thing. They are two totally different things. Really, it's just a quick estimate towards where you stand financially, okay? You may be a buyer now, but if you're buying a house, unless you are absolutely buying your forever home, you may have to turn around and sell it. So you want to know this information from a seller's point of view as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to create uncertainty. So don't waste your time writing in all these offers and only for the deal to collapse and not go through and for the seller to not even give you the time of day. Welcome to Real Yasherica, my real side in all things real estate. Today's video is dedicated to Formula Friday, and we are going to talk about pre-approval versus pre-qualification and which one is better. So before I get into that, let's talk about Formula Friday. So the whole point of Formula Friday is for me to come on here and give you guys some tips and advice that is going to make the process better in terms of buying and selling, as well as for agents. So I give tips every video that I do on Fridays for Formula Friday. I will go over the purpose of it and what it means for buyers, sellers, and for agents. So without further ado, let's get into it. So please know that pre-approval and pre-qualifications are not the same, okay? They are not the same thing. They are two totally different things. And I'm telling you right now, knowing the difference can save you time, money, and even your dream home. So let's start with pre-qualifications, because pre-qualifications is the starter, okay? That's the one that people usually start with, and it is definitely more brief. It's more brief, it's less detailed. It's not promising, okay? It's not promising. Really, it's just a quick estimate towards where you stand financially, okay? Now, the pre-approval, it is stronger, it is more reliable, and it's more verified, okay? So keep that in mind. That's what it is. Those are what they mean. Those are what they are overall. Now, let's talk about this. Now, this is more of a thing and an issue, for buyers. But again, like I mentioned, we are going to talk about what that means for sellers and agents as well. You may be a buyer now, but if you're buying a house, unless you are absolutely buying your forever home, you may have to turn around and sell it. So you want to know this information from a seller's point of view as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. Of course, I am going to give some agent tips as well. So clients, you are more than welcome to stick around for that, because you need to kind of know, what they need to know, so that you know what to look for in an agent. If they're not helping you the right way with that, then hey, sometimes you may have to bring it up, which is not always a good thing, but you can stick around for that section as well. So for buyers, pre-qualification, it is the easy first step, but it doesn't hold much weight. As I said before, it is very broad and brief. It's not as detailed. It's just a quick check again on where you stand financially. It's more of a guessing game in a way, because it doesn't require you to put in as much detailed information. It's just a basic beginning starting phase, okay? Now, I would only recommend that if you are not buying right now. If it's going to be a couple of years, a year or two, then you can look into pre-qualifications just to get you started to see, are you in good standing, or not. So keep that in mind. Now, if you are buying soon, within the next couple of months, next couple of weeks, next couple of days, you need to get with a lender and get pre-approved. You need to be pre-approved. Being pre-approved is going to show more seriousness. It's going to make a stronger offer when it comes to putting an offer in on a home. And it's going to give you a better, clearer budget on what you can actually afford. Because what you don't want to do is start looking at houses and you're not pre-approved. And then once you get pre-approved, you're not in the right price range and you don't get the house that you want. Okay, sellers, so it is your turn now. So please note, pre-qualifications, they are riskier. So if you get a pre-qualification, if an offer comes in and they have a pre-qualification, not a pre-approval, but a pre-qualification, just know it's going to be a little bit riskier because, pre-qualifications, as I mentioned before, it is not as detailed, it is not as firm, there's not specific information about their finances as a pre-approval will have. So just know pre-qualifications are going to be a little bit riskier, and it's easier for the deal to fall through and not work out, because if they come to you with a pre-qualification, then I don't know why they would want to do a pre-qualification if they have a pre-approval. So if they have a pre-approval, they should be giving that to you first, so that you can look more into them. But if they have a pre-qualification, the deal is easier to fall through because they have not really fully went through and looked at where they stand financially with a lender, and in terms of what their income, what the ratio is for their income and their expenses. So you will get more details on that, on where they stand with the pre-approval. So if it is a pre-qualification, no, it's going to be a little bit riskier, and the deal is easier to fall through and not work out because it is not as detailed as the pre-approval. So offers with pre-approvals are stronger. They are stronger because the buyer is more verified in their finances. So that's going to play a role on, if they are getting a loan. So if it's not a cash buyer and they are getting a loan, that's going to be very important, because if their finances does not look right to the lender, then the lender is not going to give them the money, and you're not going to get any money for your house. You're not going to make anything. So you definitely want to be looking for that pre-approval where it's going to say, this is where this person stands, and they are able to buy in the price range of your home. So definitely be looking for that. So if you have offers coming in and there are you have some that are pre-approved and some that are pre-qualified, you want to go with pre-approval, because pre-approval is more specific to where they stand financially. Now, I've talked about in another video, there are some times where the highest amount and the highest bidder is not always the best option to go, and that is one of the cases right there. If they are offering you let's say $10,000 or $20,000 above your asking price, and they're coming to you with a pre-qualification, you don't know for sure if they can pull that off. You don't even know if they're in good standing with a lender. So, how do you know that they're able to come to you with that amount? So you definitely want to look at that before you start just looking at the money and just looking at, this is a possibility for me to get a higher amount. It's not as likely if they are coming to you with just the pre-qualifications, okay? So with that being said, if there is a pre-approval, if there is a buyer with a pre-approval letter in their offer and they are coming to you right at asking price, that's probably going to be a better deal. You have a better chance of getting money, period, because if you go with someone that's pre-qualified and they don't, really have a lender, they don't really have anybody willing to, lend them the money, then and you go for that bigger deal because it's $10,000-$20,000 over your asking, you're not going to get nothing. You're not going to get the asking. You're not going to get the $10,000 or $20,000 over. You're not going to get nothing if the deal falls through. So just know it's riskier going with that pre-qualification. Okay, it's riskier. All right, so that's it for you guys. Moving on to agents. Agents, your job is to know pretty much everything I just said, right? So if you're an agent and you are, really, like I said, it displays a role in both sides and both parties, for buyers and sellers. So if you are working with buyers, please let your buyers know, the difference in how they need that pre-approval if they are serious about buying a home, if they want to look like they are serious about buying a home to these sellers, especially in a seller's market. You need that pre-approval because it's going to say where you stand, and if you do not stand in the price range of that of the house that if a buyer does not stand in the price range of the house that they want, they ain't gonna get it unless they come up with the rest of the money. They ain't gonna get it. So please advise them on that if you are working with buyers, that and especially, again, as I said to buyers already, time frame, that's going to matter. If they're just, if it's not something that they're doing soon or right now, then pre-qualification is just a stepping stone. It's something to get them started. But if you are working with them and they're looking to buy within the next couple of days, weeks, months, make sure that you find them, help them. If they don't have a lender already, help them find a lender and get them pre-approved, because I would hate to say it, but I feel like you would be wasting your time writing all of these offers up and they are not pre-approved. It's a lot of time on the line. It's a lot of stuff to be, putting into these paperworks, and none of it is going to make any sense to most of these sellers if it is not attached with a pre-approval. So buyer agents, y'all should know that the pre-qualification is going to create uncertainty. It's going to create uncertainty, so don't waste your time writing in all these offers and only for the deal to collapse and not go through, and for the seller to not even give you the time of day because you attach it with a pre-qualification. Okay, so make sure you are aware of that. Know that a pre-approval is going to help you. You know, it's going to help you in your offer. It's going to help you when you are doing your negotiations. It's going to help with that. It's going to overall just make the transaction smoother if you have everything ready to go and set. So make sure that you are talking to your clients and talking to your buyers about getting pre-approval letters. And if you are working for the seller, make sure that you are explaining to them, like the example that I gave, that even if it's a higher amount, if it comes with that pre-qualification, it's going to be riskier. So make sure that you're looking at that pre-approval because it's going to be a little bit more detailed. So overall, pre-approvals are going to overweight those pre-qualifications because the pre-approvals are more specific, okay? It's more detailed to your finances or to a client's or buyer's finances. Pre-approval should be giving all parties more confidence in the transaction, you know, to buyers, to sellers, and to agents. It should be helping everyone know where they stand. You know, for a buyer, you should know where you stand financially and if you can afford that home. For a seller, you should be able to look at it and know, okay, you know, this buyer is in good hands, they're in good terms with their lender, and there's a good chance they're going to get this money. There's a good chance. It's not a promising chance, but it's a good chance because, you know, it's not final, okay? So buyers still have to apply for a specific loan when your offer is accepted. Once a buyer's offer is accepted, then they could go in and apply specifically for the loan for that house, for your house as the seller, if you're a seller. So yeah, it's not the very end yet, but it's a whole lot better, a whole lot closer than what a pre-qualification letter would give you, okay? Or would give a buyer. All right, you guys, so that's it. That's all that I have for you guys. If you are interested in buying or selling, any of those things, renting as well, I'm soon to have that on my website. But if you are interested in buying or selling and you need help with the process, you guys, I have resources on my website right now at the Real Yasherica. I have a real estate referral service, and so what I do is I help you figure out, you know, where you are, what you need to do, and once you are ready to buy or sell, I match you with the appropriate agent for your specific needs. And so agents, I do offer that to you guys as well. I help you find the right client. I will help market you and put you out there to my audience. So if you are looking to network agents or clients, if you are looking to put your foot out there, get your feet wet, get ready to buy and sell, and, you know, just make this real estate accomplishment, you guys can contact me today and reach out. Check out my website, look at some of my resources. All the resources I have are free on my website, so definitely check those out. I do have some PDF files for you to download. Again, I have some for buyers, sellers, agents, renters soon, so be on the lookout for that. Make sure that you are subscribed and following me on my social media platforms so you can keep up with that and all of the benefits that my service provide. But yes, you guys, I do have free downloadable resources for you guys. I also have some links to articles, videos, and podcasts for buyers, sellers, and agents, renters soon again. So if you're interested in any of those, please check out my website or reach out to me and I will guide you guys in the right direction. Stay tuned, you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.